Hey guys, KUZO here, back with another video, and in this video today we're going to be doing another installment of my redesign series. In this one we're going to be redesigning Sasuke into a cyberpunk theme. I thought it would be fitting since I recently did a Naruto redesign into cyberpunk, so I thought I might as well do Sasuke as well. So a few things that I think about when going to do these redesigns is one, their personality, and two, what their typical uniform or clothing that they wear in the series that they come from. And early on I have to decide how close to the original clothing source do I want to keep it, how much inspirations do I want to pull from that. Sometimes I'll go completely left field and it won't look anything like the original costume, and other times I'll kind of keep it closer to home and I'll take heavy inspirations from the original costume. One, I didn't take a huge amount of inspiration from the original design of the clothing, but one thing I did want to keep and incorporate was the kind of high top collar. There was a few times that I thought of some designs that I could do with the collar that would have looked a little cooler, or I thought might have looked cooler or would have fit better, but I ended up going with one that's completely enclosed all the way around, instead of leaving any gaps in the front or at any other portions of it. For his whole jacket, I was kind of conflicted on if I wanted to make it short sleeve or long sleeve. I ended up settling on long sleeve, but I could have made the short sleeve one work. It definitely could have worked, and I could have put some sort of design on his arms, not like tattoo designs, but some sort of futuristic cyberpunk-ish clothing on his arms, kind of like how in the first part of Naruto he's wearing those kind of cloths with belt straps on his lower arms. Decided to keep it with kind of a poofy long sleeve jacket look for this redesign. Things for certain is there can easily be more iterations of these kinds of designs, because when I was doing this one there's so many things I thought of doing, and I kind of had to keep myself in check and just make sure to go with one thing, or else I would have procrastinated way too much on the whole illustration and it would have been too muddled and kind of all over the place. I made sure to stick with the jacket, and I thought, you know, if I ever do another redesign of Sasuke in Cyberpunk, I would definitely try to do something a little bit different than this one, obviously, and you know, maybe see which one you guys like best. Actually, one of the redesigns that I wanted to redesign, it's kind of weird, but one of the ones that I wanted to give another shot at was the steampunk Naruto, because that was actually the debut video kind of to this redesign series, and it was really fun, but I feel like I could do better now, and I wasn't too happy with how that one came out, but I would definitely like to give that one another shot. Let me know if you guys want to see that one again. Is it just me, or does it seem like Sasuke would really fit in a cyberpunk world? I feel like he could be a main character in a cyberpunk world. Even have the Sharingan be in this story and just have it be more technologically based instead of, you know, clan based or, you know, chakra based, stuff like that. That's actually one of the things I wanted to try in this redesign, was making his eyes kind of like a Sharingan cyborg eye, but I ended up backing out on the idea because I wanted to keep this a little bit more simple, just straightforward cyberpunk kind of, you know, design. And another thing that I was thinking about doing was maybe making a cyberpunk-esque looking curse mark going across his face, and that's another thing I backed out on. And that one would have been the easier one to actually do, but I wasn't too sure about it. Now here I'm thinking like maybe I should have done it, but I guess that leaves it open for me to create a cyborg eye, cyborg curse mark Sasuke for the next one or whatever. And that's the whole part of the design process, deciding what you are and aren't going to do within a design. And I knew when going into this, I wanted to primarily focus on the clothing being more so the central focus of the cyberpunk theme, than more so changing the character and his eyes and stuff like that. I feel like the curse mark definitely could have been added though, because it wouldn't have taken away that much from it. To get back to the illustration and the design that's going on right now, so he's wearing this kind of poofy jacket and he's got these shoulder pads, and I really wanted to incorporate the Uchiha symbols somewhere. I just didn't know exactly where to do it, and I decided to put it on the left shoulder pad. And then I knew I wanted to incorporate the headband somewhere, and it ended up not necessarily being a headband in this one, but more so something that's just clipped on to a front part of his jacket, and it's more so like the underlayer portion of the jacket, and it's kind of where his hand is, and his hand's kind of covering it up. But I kind of wish his hand wasn't there at some points, but it definitely helps the illustration feel a little less flat. That's why I put it there, but it kind of sucks that it's covering up the headband. But I was still happy that the Uchiha symbol was definitely a big focus, because that's like popping out at you on that shoulder right there. And as for his hair, I kept his hair pretty much the same. I thought about putting something on his head, like some goggles or something of that kind of nature on his head, but I didn't really want to mess with his, you know, typical hair shape, because I also just really like Sasuke's hair shape, so I didn't want to mess with that. Yeah, other than that, the other part of the design is pretty much just the swords on the back. That's the last part I haven't really talked about, and I just wanted to put some swords on his back like a ninja, you know, type of thing going on. And he uses some swords in anime, maybe not towards the age I'm drawing him in right now, but when he's older, he used swords. So I decided to put some kind of cyberpunkish swords up at the top and did a little design for them. And I wanted to make sure he was wearing some sort of glove. He didn't have to wear a glove, but I just wanted to put that on there anyways. I feel like drawing hands and gloves are always really fun. And pretty much the last part of the design process that I thought about was all the little placements of things on his jacket, such as the circle things that are just design aesthetic for the steampunk kind of theme, and all the lines going around the jacket, and deciding where they were going to be. And one thing I learned is to not overdo it, and I try to keep it a little bit more simple. Along with how his t-shirt is like a dark blue in the anime and in the manga in the first part, I decided to do that with the jacket. Of course, I'm not actually coloring it here. It's going to be black and white, so it's going to be showing up as black. So I'm just, you know, insinuating that it is that bluish color. But I mean, who knows? If it was colored, it could be like a black or a dark gray, something like that. But most likely a blue. And as we talked about the whole design, I had already inked the whole thing. And just in case you guys don't know what kind of pen I'm using, if you're new to this video, it's a Zebra G pen. And the pencil I use is a 0.7 Bic mechanical pencil, the disposable kind. And the paper I'm using is just a smooth bristleboard paper. And this one is actually cut in half, and then a little piece chopped off the top to make this kind of small piece of paper. We're pretty much just in the blackout stages. I had just blocked in all the blackouts with pencil to make sure I knew where everything was going to go, so I felt a little bit more comfortable going into this stage. And one of the bumps in the road I ran into was this handy dandy little buddy of mine I'm using right here, this brush pen, ended up starting to run out while I was doing the blackouts, and that was extremely frustrating because as some of you may know, in one of my other illustrations was I started running out of a lot of the ink that I've been using, because I just haven't done a whole lot of traditional illustrations, so I had all these tools laying around. And so ever since I started doing a bunch of inking illustrations, man, I never realized how fast this stuff runs out, you know. And that's one of the perks about digital, is I never have to think about running out of ink. But yeah, definitely a different feeling when you're in the middle of an illustration, you're running out of ink for the blackouts. So you see me start pulling out some Sharpies at some point and other brush pens, and so I ended up ordering some more of these brush pens off Amazon, so I'll get those in the next few days. I don't want that to get in the way of me doing some more illustrations for you guys. Of course, I could always just go back to these sketches, which I do want to do another sketch video at some point. But, you know, just going ahead and inking the whole illustration has now become something I do on the regular. I haven't really done just a sketch illustration in a while, because the inks tend to look a little bit better on camera, and you know, they're more fun to look at for everybody. And some of these illustrations I definitely wish I could have inked digitally, and that's something I definitely want to try doing. And I've mentioned it in some other videos where I wanted to try to do some digital inks for you guys, so you guys can see the difference between my traditional and digital, which isn't much of a difference at all actually. Maybe I'll try it in one of my next videos. When I do it, I'll probably end up sketching it traditionally and then going ahead and inking it digitally. As you know, one of the really cool things about the iPad is when you're drawing, it doesn't matter what you're drawing in, you can literally just take a picture of, even if it's small, you can take a picture of that sketch you did and just import it into your drawing app on the iPad and bam, start inking it in high resolution. And I don't know, it's just something that's really cool. Yeah, so where we are in the illustration with the blackouts is where I actually started using the permanent marker that I was talking about. And I ended up finding a different brush pen I had, and it's a skinny brush pen. So it's a little skinnier than the other one I've been using. And I just didn't really want to use it because it's a bit harder to control, although after I started using it, I got much better at using it, and I was actually doing things really accurately. But I don't know, I just didn't really want to use it because I felt like it could have better uses than just for blackouts. So I tried not to use it that much. But yeah, like I said, I had ordered the brush pens and I'm looking forward to those coming in the next couple of days. I remember when I was actually stressed out when going to use the brush pens to do blackouts, but now it's a little bit natural for me to do that. It's so natural that I just can't imagine not using that to do the blackouts now. It's kind of annoying not having that because you can go so thick and you can go so thin with just that brush pen, and it covers so much area. Also, at some point in the blackouts, I used a different brush pen that I have, which was actually a refillable brush pen. And I had put my India black ink in that brush pen, and it ended up not working out so well. So the part of the illustration looks a little blotchy black and doesn't look like a smooth black on the paper. And yeah, that's because of that brush pen. Kind of weird. Yeah, also one of the things I've been thinking about doing for a little while now with these redesign series is actually taking it into my quote-unquote epic series that I've been doing and try to do an epic splash page of some of these redesigns I've done, where maybe I would take the Sasuke and Naruto one and do an epic splash page of them as cyberpunk characters. I just realized something. I don't think I ever drew steampunk Sasuke. No, I haven't. I'm gonna have to try that out. So the new My Hero Academia season is gonna be airing soon, so that's gonna be awesome. I've been waiting on doing any My Hero Academia content on this channel for a little while because I've been waiting for that season to come out. I didn't want to tire out those videos before the season came out, so definitely going to be doing a lot of My Hero Academia stuff coming up here. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that, maybe a My Hero Academia epic splash page. But back to the illustration here. I actually wasn't going to do any effects in the background here, but I decided that I would just kind of make the whole outside just a bunch of electricity. So I thought that would be a little fun, something easy that would still give it a cool atmosphere. Yeah. Anyways, if you guys want to help support my artists, help support what I do on this channel, you guys can check me out on my Patreon, link in the description. I'd like to thank my current patrons. You guys are the best special numbers there are and help me be able to do what I do on this channel. I'd like to give special thanks to my Chunin and Jonin tier Patreons: Satoshi, Alpha Dog Studios, Benjamin T, Jeffrey Riddle, Yulia Namikaze, Wear My Crown, Daniel Hillier, Maricuzio, JT, Aaron McQuiston, Slow Days, Aaliyah Williams, Ryan, Johnny Boy Draws, Liquor, Weeb Ninja, Leo McIntyre, Joe, Daniel Hutchinson, Urgin, David DeBoer, Jaden Syria, Fabsy, Lost Illustrator, and Paul Hrubeck. Once again, big thanks to all my Patreons. I really do appreciate all your support. I just want to say thanks to each and every one of you guys who have made it to the end of this video too, because you guys also help me out a lot as well. So you guys are awesome too. But in any case, if you guys like this video, please hit that thumbs up button. And if you're new to this channel, like you see, please subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notified when each video comes out. But like always guys, hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.